tonight we are going to carry on with that journey, okay? And we are going to start with types of quadrilaterals. Okay, so tonight we're going to look at different types of quadrilaterals. Different types of quadrilaterals. All right, so if you're writing notes with us or you're doing headings, we're doing types of quadrilaterals. So before we come back to this little kitty cat that's on the side here, I want us to make some notes for ourselves very quickly. Okay, so when we're having a look at types of quadrilaterals, everybody, okay, there's a nice little table that I like to use when I'm looking at types of quadrilaterals. So the first type of quadrilateral that I like to draw for myself is just a shape that looks kind of like this. Okay, I'm going to give myself a little heading here and I'm going to call it quadrilateral. Okay, so any kind of four-sided shape, a quadrilateral. All right. So if you had to be asked what is a quadrilateral, you can tell the person a quadrilateral has 4 sides and has 4 angles. So when we're looking at the definition of just a quadrilateral has 4 sides and it has 4 angles. Okay. Now we're going to move down a little bit and we're going to define some quadrilaterals. Okay, so we're going to move down and we're going to look at some definitions of some other quadrilaterals. And the first kind of quadrilateral that we're going to look at is let's see if we've got it here. Oh, we do. Look at that. Let's see if it'll let us choose it. Okay, so the first kind of quadrilateral we're going to look at is this one over here on the side that we're going to draw. And I'm wondering if anybody can tell me what kind of quadrilateral that is. So what I want to do is I want to just drop all your hands first because all these hands are up before I even ask the question. Okay, so what kind of quadrilateral is that? Emishle. What kind of quadrilateral is that one that I've just drawn on the screen? What kind of quadrilateral is that one that I've just drawn on the screen?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi. Hi.
The shape is a trapezium, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Well done. All right. So Amishle is very correct. This shape here, oh dear, is the shape that we call a trapezium. All right. So if we're doing some notes on the trapezium, we're making some notes on the trapezium, okay, we can say that a trapezium, all right, is a quadrilateral. Oh. Quadrilateral, okay, just correct my spelling quickly. Okay, it's a quadrilateral. All right, so if it's a quadrilateral, it means that it's got 4 sides and it's got 4 angles. All right, and who can tell me something special about the trapezium? Umar, I see your hand is still up. So Umar, I'm going to ask you, what's something special, Umar, about the trapezium?
Ma'am, it has 1 pair of parallel lines.
You're amazing. Well done, Umar. Thank you. So Umar is correct. All right, it's got parallel lines. Remember, when we draw parallel lines, they're drawn with little arrows on them. So they have 1 pair of parallel lines. first we looked at what a quadrilateral is, and now we've come down and we've looked at, well, quadrilateral can also be a trapezium. A trapezium is a type of quadrilateral that has one pair of parallel lines. Right, let's have a look at a different kind of quadrilateral now. And the quadrilateral that I'm looking at is one of the most popular ones that teachers love giving you guys. Okay, it's one of the ones that we love giving you guys. And that quadrilateral is this one over here. So this quadrilateral is a quadrilateral that we call a parallelogram. Okay, so this kind of quadrilateral is called a parallelogram. A parallelogram. So I am looking for somebody, all right? I am looking for somebody who can give me something or tell me something about the parallelogram that makes it a parallelogram. Lorona, what do you know about the parallelogram?
The parallelogram is just like the rectangle, but has tilted sides.
Oh, it's like
And,
tilted, hey? Yeah.
And is has two pairs of parallel lines.
Good. Cool. Carry on.
Lines.
Yeah.
Two parallel lines, and the angles opposite to other are equal.
You are amazing. Well done, Lorena. Well done. That's amazing. Well done. Anything else?
No.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So Lorena is quite correct. Lorena is quite correct. A parallelogram, okay, has, it's a quadrilateral, first of all. So it's a quad. I'm not going to spell that name again and again, guys. It's so long. So it's a quad. All right. So a parallelogram, and I hope you're drawing along with me and you're making your drawing as well. A parallelogram is a quad. So a quad has 4 sides, 4 angles. All right. The opposite sides of a parallelogram, okay, the opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. So it's in the name. So those 2 sides are parallel. All right, but now we must also show that the other 2 sides are parallel. So we've used 1 arrow on those sides, okay, which means on these sides over here, I'm going to use 2 arrows. Okay, so all that means is that the opposite sides are parallel. Okay, it means the opposite sides are parallel. All right. Then Lorena also told us that the opposite angles are equal. Hey, the opposite angles are equal. Okay, so let's look at how we're going to show that the opposite angles are equal. So it means that if I draw an angle sign on here, it means that opposite to that one is going to be that one. So those 2 angles are equal because they are opposite. All right. And it means that this angle over here with 2 lines on it, all right, is going to be equal to this angle over here that has 2 lines on it. All right, so it's just a way of us showing that those opposite angles are equal to each other. And the last thing we need to add is that the opposite sides are also equal. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are also equal. So that means that this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side. Okay. So far, we've looked at a quadrilateral, then we broke it down and we looked at a trapezium, okay, and we looked at a parallelogram. All right, so we are still looking at our breakdown here. And the next shape that I want to look at, if I've got a little bit of space here, is I want to bring a line down from here. And I want to look at your favorite one that you all keep telling me that we need to do. Okay, and that's one seems to be this shape. See if I can draw him. Right, I think a few of you have already asked me about this shape, so let's see. Let's see if it'll let me draw him a little bit bigger. Okay. So, mine is a little bit off. It's not really drawn to scale. All right, you can draw a much better shape than I can on your page. All right, but this shape is a kite. So I'm actually going to move to a different color, guys, so that we can see it a bit nicer so it doesn't get mixed up with that color. So let's move to blue. So this is a kite. All right. Who is going to talk to me about a kite? Mulalo. Mulalo, do you know some properties of a kite for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Both pairs of adjacent sides are equal in length.
You are amazing. Adjacent sides are equal in length. That's what we learned about on Wednesday, okay? Well done. So the adjacent sides are equal in length. Good. So that side and that side, hey? Awesome. Mulalo, you're still with me? Oh, they disappeared. Okay. I'm going to carry on for us. All right. So we've got two pairs of adjacent. And now remember what we said about adjacent, everybody, the other night. We said that adjacent meant that they were lying next to each other and they were holding hands. So adjacent means that they're lines that are next to each other, but they're also holding hands. Mulalo, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you're still there. I just couldn't see you on the screen. Okay, cool. So two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. Cool. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am. And only
Okay.
one pair of opposite angles are equal.
Only one pair of opposite angles are equal. Good. One pair opposite angles are equal. Do you agree that these ones here, this one and that one, hey?
Yes. Yes.
Happy with that? Okay. Anything else special about a kite that I've drawn on that page? Nah, you're right. Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much. Well done. Okay, so Mulalo is completely right. Two pairs of adjacent sides that are equal, one pair of opposite angles that are equal. And the pair of opposite angles that are equal are those angles that are falling in between those sides that are equal. All right, so we've looked at a quadrilateral as a whole. We've seen that a trapezium is a type of quadrilateral, a quad is a type of quadrilateral, and a kite is also, whoopsie daisy, a quadrilateral. But each of them have their own special properties. Each of them have their own special properties. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the next level of quadrilaterals. So that's our first level of quadrilaterals, okay? That's our first level of quadrilaterals, all right? We can see that a trapezium, a parallelogram, and a kite, all right, they're all quadrilaterals. They all have certain properties, okay? From those quadrilaterals now, we're going to move down a little bit and we're going to look and see what are the next kind of quadrilaterals that we can kind of take that look similar. All right, so we're going to look at we're going to look at this side of the screen. Okay, so we're going to move on from this trapezium. So we're not going to focus on the trapezium, but we're going to focus on the kite and the parallelogram. Okay, I'm going to focus on the kite and the parallelogram. All right, so I'm going to go and see if I can just draw this a little bit nicer so that you can get your notes a bit better. All right, I want to take this line, and I'm going to go from there to the kite. Okay, so I'm looking at going now from the kite and the sorry. Let's start from the parallelogram. So let's see what kind of shapes we can get that come off of a parallelogram now. All right, the first two kinds of shapes that we're going to get from the parallelogram, because we're going to have two coming off the parallelogram. Okay, the first kind of shape that we're going to have coming off of the parallelogram is a shape that looks as follows. All right, this is a shape that you guys have been learning to draw since you're probably really small. Oopsie daisy, not that one. Let's go back. So since you were probably really young, you've been looking at this shape. Okay, it's probably one of the first shapes you learned how to draw. All right. This shape is a shape that is known as a rectangle.
Hi, everybody. It's me again. While Teacher Kirsty is writing, I want to remind you all that I did post in the chat. You can take a screenshot at any moment. But at the same time, I want to challenge you all to rewrite exactly what's on the screen on your own papers. And then you won't even need a screenshot, guys. You're going to learn so much better when it's in your own handwriting, your own planning.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Hugo. Absolutely. That's why we're writing together. Otherwise, Mr. Hugo and I would just give you our notes, and then that would be a waste of your time. Okay, a quadrilateral, right. Who is going to help me out with some properties of a quadrilateral? Unati, I haven't heard from you tonight. Let's go. Hi, Unati.
Hi, ma'am.
Are you ready to help me out with a rectangle?
I wasn't raising up my hand for that, ma'am, but it's fine. I'll try.
Okay, you're going to try. All right. So a rectangle is a quadrilateral. Do you agree that it's also a parallelogram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's got all the same properties as a parallelogram here, Nati. So I'm going to help you out with this one. So let's go look at the parallelogram. We said that the opposite sides of a parallelogram were parallel. Do you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that means that in a rectangle, the opposite sides of a rectangle must also be parallel, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Copy so far?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, we also said that the opposite angles were equal, but what's special, Unati, about a rectangle? What's special about the angles in a rectangle? You know, what's special? What do they equal, the angles in a rectangle? What are the angles equal to in a rectangle? Want some help?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Sure. What does it mean if I draw this little box here? Can you remember what that box means?
Oh, they all have 90 degrees.
You're amazing.
Angles,
Well done. They're all 90-degree angles. Good. So all the opposite angles are equal. And what are they equal to, Nati? They're equal to 90 degrees.
they're
Hey?
equal to 90 degrees.
Good. Well done. And then what's the last thing we know about a rectangle? A rectangle, okay, is the same as a parallelogram. So the thing in the parallelogram was that the opposite sides were equal, okay? So this side is equal to this
Yes.
side, and that side is equal to
And this,
that side.
that's right.
All right. So are you happy that a rectangle is a quadrilateral? Okay, so we've got that a rectangle is a
Yes,
quadrilateral.
ma'am.
We've got that a rectangle is also a parallelogram, so it's got all those same properties that a parallelogram has. But what was special about a rectangle? That the angles equal
90 degrees.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Did you have another question that you wanted to ask me?
No, ma'am. Like I've been so burning to tell this, like when you can't see the screen, ma'am.
Oh dear. Okay. Do you think Mr. Hugo might be able to help you? Okay.
No, ma'am. Like I have something that will help, ma'am.
Oh, you have something that, okay, stay on the call so at the end you can show me, okay? I'll let you share your screen with me at the end, all right?
Okay,
Thanks,
ma'am.
Sunati. All right, so we've sorted out. We've looked at the parallelogram. We've seen that a rectangle is a quadrilateral, but it's also a type of parallelogram, but a special type, okay? And we saw that the angles were equal to 90 degrees. Now, there's one more kind of shape that's also like a parallelogram, and that shape looks like this. So let's see if we can put it on the side. And somebody told me once, okay, that they think of this shape, and I think it's so clever to think of it this way. They always think that this shape is called, they call it a bullied square. So it's a square, okay? So it's a square, but like it's been bullied. All right. Why do you think that this, so what is this shape, first of all? What is this shape, the square that's being bullied? Good, Mulalo, it's a rhombus. Good, well done. It's a rhombus, amazing, well done. So this shape is a rhombus. Okay, so my one student used to tell me it's like the bullied square. All right, so let's have a look. Okay, this shape is a quadrilateral. All right, so we know that the shape is a quadrilateral because all the shapes we're doing tonight are quadrilaterals here. So it's a quadrilateral. But it is also, it's also a parallelogram. Okay, so let's just go back and check. Quadrilateral means, does it have 4 sides and 4 angles? Yes, so it is definitely a rhombus is a quadrilateral, okay? Then, because it is a parallelogram, because it's a rhombus is a type of parallelogram, it means that, let's go back to the parallelogram things. The opposite sides are parallel. So in a rhombus, this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to that side here. Okay. Again, because a rhombus is also a parallelogram, it means that the opposite angles are equal. So the opposite angles are equal. So this angle and this angle are equal, and this angle and this angle are equal. Okay. And the last thing about a parallelogram, so the opposite sides are parallel, the opposite angles were equal, and the last thing about a parallelogram was that the opposite sides were equal. But what makes a rhombus really special is that, remember, a rhombus is like a bullied square. So if a rhombus is a bullied square and the square is just being pushed over, okay, what do we know about a square? We know that in a square, all of the sides are equal. So yes, the opposite sides of the shape are equal, but actually in a rhombus, all of the sides are equal. All of the sides are equal. Right. And so, what's now the last shape we need to look at? What's now the last shape that we need to look at on our list? Okay, we're going to do our last shape. Let's pick this greeny color. Okay, so the last shape we need to look at on our list all right, has the properties of both a rectangle and a rhombus. So the properties of a rectangle and a rhombus are coming together. All right, the properties of a rectangle and a rhombus are coming together. And this last shape that we're looking at is this shape down here. All right, so this shape is what is known as a square. So we have the square. Okay. What is unique or what is special about the square is that a square is a quadrilateral. So what does that mean? It means it's got 4 sides, it's got 4 angles. It's a quadrilateral. Okay. A square is also a parallelogram. Okay, so a square is also a parallelogram, and we're going to go and look at all those different things. All right. But we also know that technically we could say that a square has some of the same properties as a rectangle. So we could say that a square can be a rectangle. Okay. All right. So we could say that a square could also be a rectangle. All right. So let's have a look at what all these properties now mean. They mean that, okay, and we're going to rewrite them here on the side for ourselves. The first thing about a square, and it's the thing that you guys learn when you are like in primary school, okay, about a square. A square has this little box. So in a square, all angles equal 90 degrees. All the angles are 90 degrees. So that's the very first thing about a square. All the angles are 90 degrees. Okay, which means that the opposite angles are equal, okay, because they're all equal to 90 degrees. So if the angles are equal to 90 degrees, it means that means the opposite angles would be equal. The opposite sides are parallel. So the opposite sides are parallel. So that means that side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to that side. All right, and the last thing that we can draw on our diagram here, and it's the one that we can take from the rhombus. All right, so it's the property that we're picking up from the rhombus here now, because actually a square is a quadrilateral, a parallelogram, a rectangle, and it's got some properties of a rhombus. All right, because all sides are equal. So this side equals, this side equals, this side equals this side, which also means that the opposites sides are equal. Okay, so not only are all the sides equal, but it also means that the opposite sides are also equal. All right, I hope that you have gone along and you have filled in all of your notes, everybody. I hope you've come along with us and you've filled in all of your notes and you've taken down all of these different properties. We're going to go and we're going to answer some questions now. So we're going to look at practicing this a little bit, okay? Don't worry, I know we're coming to the end of our lesson, and oh my goodness, ma'am, we're running out of time. We'll have another lesson on Wednesday. So those of you who are new, don't stress. We're seeing each other again on Wednesday, and on Wednesday, we'll make sure that we finish all of the questions. Okay, so hopefully you've got everything down. Let's go have a look at some of our questions now. All right, we're coming back to this kitty cat over here. Oh dear. Okay, let's just use my screen rather, guys. So, question A. Right, there are 6 questions on your screen. I want you to have a look at them first, and then I'm going to take some hands. But I want you to have a look at the questions first before I take hands. Have a look at the questions first. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute. Have a look at the questions first. All right, have a look first. When I'm ready to take your questions, I will ask you to raise your hands, guys. Have a look first. Okay. I am ready for somebody to help me answer A. All right, Bushle. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. And how are you, ma'am?
I am good, thank you. Bushle, A. A quadrilateral is a shape with what side?
With 4 sides.
You're amazing. Well done. With 4 sides. You got the nice, easy one. First one out the gate. Nice and easy. Well done. All right. Goitza. Goitza, am I saying that correctly? Am I pronouncing your name right?
No, ma'am.
How do I say your name?
Huiti.
Huiti, I'm so sorry. Huiti, do you want to do B for me? A quadrilateral with 4 sides and 4 equal angles is called a what? 4
A
equal
square.
sides. You are amazing. Well done. Well done. Nice. Thank you, Huiti.
You're welcome.
All right. Lungawa. Lungawa, a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 2 pairs of equal angles is called a what?
A parallelogram.
Okay, let's just double check. Let's double check. So in a parallelogram, is there 4 equal sides? Double check, double check. Which shape has 4 equal sides? Which shape has 4 equal sides? There should be 2 on your page that we did. Can you see them?
A
It's the
square.
one that's okay, a square is one, good, but it's the bullied one. What's the one that's bullied? Which one's
Trapezium.
bullied? No, not the trapezium. It's the other one. Which other one's bullied? Which one's the bullied square? What's that one called?
A rhombus.
Yes, well done, Lungawa. It's got 4 equal sides and it's got a pair of equal, so 2 pairs of equal angles because the opposite sides, the opposite angles are equal. Well done. So C is a rhombus. Well done. Well done, Lungawa. Thank you. All right, Azande. Azande, are you ready for D?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. A quadrilateral with 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and 2 pairs of equal angles is called a. Azande, where did you go? Azande, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, Azande, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you got D for me? What's the answer for D?
No, ma'am, I put up my hand accidentally. I don't know the
Okay.
answer.
All right, no problem. All right, let's see here. Who else have I got? Kaylee. Kaylee, I haven't heard from you tonight. Oh, Kaylee's hand went down. Oh, Kaylee went down so quickly. Okay, let's go. Jaden. Where's Jaden? There we go. Jaden. Jaden, do you want to
Yes.
unmute? What's the answer for D?
Ma'am, it's a rectangle.
Okay, let's have a look. So 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. I agree with you that does fit a rectangle. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. That does fit a rectangle. But there's something special missing there to make it a rectangle. What would the special thing be about a rectangle? What do we know about the angles of a rectangle?
Oh, ma'am, for a rectangle, each angle is 90 degrees, ma'am.
That's it. And it doesn't say that, hey? So do you agree that for this one, we can say that it's just a parallelogram, hey? Oh, I'm not
Yes,
spelling
ma'am.
very nicely again tonight. Parallelogram. Parallelogram. Okay, well done though. Well done. Thank you so much. All right, guys. For E, a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and four right angles is known as a rectangle. And the very last one for tonight, okay, the very last one. Kaylee, I also thought you put your hand up, but then you went missing on my screen. I'm so sorry, Kaylee. On Wednesday nights, I will let you answer, I promise. I'm so sorry, Kaylee. Okay, so for F, a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and no equal angles. No equal angles. Who's going to give me that one? That one was a tricky one. That one was a tricky one. What about Prince? Prince, do you want to
Ma'am,
and tell me what the answer is? Yes.
it's trapezium.
Well done, Prince. That one was tricky, so well done. Thank you, Prince. So Prince is absolutely correct. It is a trapezium. Right, grade 7s, that is the end of our lesson. If you can believe it, that